Hey everybody, welcome back to some more Mind Over Magic at the Embertide Academy, and things are going to be looking a little bit different. Yeah, I messed up both of my recordings. If you did not see by my community note, both of my recordings for Mind Over Magic got either audio bugged or I had the wrong resolution, so some of this UI elements was not part of that video. So yeah, things are looking a little bit different and things have expanded quite a bit. So let's go ahead and do a quick recap. Evan is now part of the professors down here. We have defeated the burrower larva down here. Finally, Hustle got her revenge. We've also got a greenhouse started over here, so Kevin and all of our lovely upcoming nature mages, once we get them, will have a place to work and do things in. So I think I am going to go ahead and start getting some nature mages in here. We are trying to work on making a common room for our students, so that we have more of them and have them stay. As you can see here, it's not going well. I'm trying to find a way for this to be a wall and a roof at the same time, and well, it's not going too well, to be honest. So we might have like this weird common area for students. Teachers will be able to walk through it, and I don't really care for that, to be honest, but it's fine. We'll make it work. We have added the apprenticeship mechanism here. We've expanded this classroom. What else? We have our Lina styes to help with our stone production, which is why we've had such a boom in our expansion to our school. We are working on the woodcuttery right here. That will be done as well. I think this is kind of where the space that we're going to use for this. We might expand it out just a little bit more that way. But other than that, I think that's pretty much it. We've done some more exploration of the Underschool, but not too much in all honesty. We were just focused on getting those Lovelina styes. Yes, so TU actually has a very nice Mage's Tower over here, which we are eventually going to convert into the Mage's Hermitage, which has to have only an entrance. Well, actually, no entrance at all. And so I got to figure out how we're going to eventually get TU over here. I think there's like teleporter or something that we can eventually have. So this will be eventually just disconnected and floating somewhere off in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, we're going to turn this into our library. It's not a library just yet. We need some more scholarly luxury, but that'll be our library so we can start tuning our relics. And then I think that is just about it, to be honest. We're going to turn this to the arboretum, which is going to help with our nature students. I got to figure out a better way to do this. We're probably going to move this guy around and then maybe have like a raised area for this. I don't know. I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to do this area. My thought process was, hey, I want our nature students to be able to come to class and then go work into like, the greenhouse or the woodcuttery and stuff like that. And then we also want to work on probably getting a alchemy area, a atelier for our spindle down here. So there's plenty of other things to work on. We're also expanding to the the fourth level of the school. We're going to start going up vertically here. I think I've gone the width I want to go for the school. I think this is probably wide enough, and I just want to go up from here. This is going to be the lower part of the school where, I don't think I'm going to build anything above this. But yeah, I think that is enough introductions. It's about a 3-minute introduction of what has happened since then. So, some people got their tier 2 wand upgrades. Kevin has their tier 2 wand. Danzy has a tier 2 wand. Hostel has a tier 2 wand. I think we happened that in that last episode. And then Evan has a tier 1 and has been cooking for us. So we're going to have some better meals. We have some honeyed gruel. We are growing some honey drop planters here. So we have honey drops coming in. So yeah, that is pretty much the gist of it. We are starting to have our planters here. This is probably as big as our greenhouse is going to get. I could have multiple rooms here and there, but I don't like the idea of that. I feel like we need to have single located rooms. I know I've seen some examples, like at least on the Steam page, where they have multiple greenhouses. Like, oh well, maybe it'd be helpful, especially if you need like certain plants near the alchemy lab or something like that. So that is a thing and a consideration. But right now I'm going to have a massive greenhouse. I like the idea of that. So that's where we're at on that. I'm going to go kind of fix this area up as well. We have plenty of disgusting things out here ruining our lovely little courtyard. And eventually I think I'm going to move the founder's grade over here. We don't really need bitter rice all that much. I could leave this here if I really wanted to. But I would like to move the founder's grave somewhere that would be somewhat nice, and I wanted to move it here, to be honest, next to our bitter rice, I guess. We also have a void stream that appeared because this area is dark, but I'll get this area fixed up. And then of course we have some new stuff in terms of placing, so like the exterior, or let me see where I'm looking for a second, because I think we have some pathing for outside now. Yeah, so it is path stone, school traversal, so we can have some path stone here now. Once we have the teacher's grave moved, we can go ahead and put some more path stone down. So I'm just gonna put some path stone here, just in between these rooms. And of course we have the hallway runners as well, which helps us get from one point of the school to the other. We could easily just have a hallway runner go all the way across here. That way they can get from one point of the school to the other really quickly. So we have a hallway runner there, hallway runner there. Just makes it look nice and neat. We can say, hey, hallway runner here if we really want to. I really want to have this connect to the classroom. And eventually we're going to move this bookshelf here. But I really would like to have this classroom connected to this common room. I just got to figure out how to make all of this work. The roof is not really cooperating with the way I want it to. We could easily just make a wall here and then have a roof right there and then get rid of this. I think that might be okay. It's a little silly looking in my opinion. But, you know, we could make it work. The problem with some of these rooms is if I cut this off, this is technically separate rooms now, which is not what we need. We need all this kind of all working together. So what I would need to technically do is have a bridge and get rid of some of these. So, you know, bridge over to this little area right here. That could work. But really what we need to do is have this wall somehow connect down here. And that's kind of what we need. Unfortunately, I don't like the idea of the bridge. It's going to seem a little weird. There's not much that's going to be able to go here, in all honesty. I don't know how I feel about it, man. I mean, I could technically have a bridge right there and just have a railing, theoretically. And that would fix all of our issues. You know, we need a wall there. Let's see. Can I go there? Can I go there? What is wrong with this? Unsupported floor. I mean, yeah, that technically has to be a floor. I'm not entirely sure why it's unsupported. You know, I just want to cancel everything in here for real quick. Oh, wait, no, that is a floor. Yeah, so that floor should be fine there. It's just unsupported at the moment because we don't have these walls. And I really need that last wall piece right there. There we go. Excellent. So that should fix itself. And then, like I said, we're just going to need a bridge here. I'll be honest, I don't care for this room. I don't like the way it turned out. I'm not very happy with it. And I wish I could kind of make it work a little bit better. What I probably could do, I want to see, yeah, because I wanted a bridge over here. There, you know, there's a roof, there's a bridge that goes across, and then we have supports that make this work. That's how I want that to work. So really what our issue is I'm going to cancel this. We have this wall, and unfortunately, or this floor. Unfortunately, you can't just build a wall like that and it be supported. You have to have something supporting it for it to work. So what if you did just like a, let's just say a arc support? Does that help? No, not really. That probably wouldn't help either. An arc support, no, I mean, is this needed here? Actually, that may not be needed. It looks a little weird. But this wall is also not supported. Why is it not supported? Interesting. Because this floor is technically... Oh, maybe because we don't have this floor built yet. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Okay, so I'm going to let them build that out. See how this all ends up. Because if they can make this end up like this, I'll be very happy. Now, as you can see here, there's a problem here. This is going to be a separate room. We have to technically have a bridge go across here. Which is very unfortunate. We could technically have a bridge go right here, I believe. Because when you have a bridge, it kind of technically... We didn't have a bridge there, I believe. So I'm going to try this real quick. So we're going to cancel this. So that's no-go. I want a bridge right there. Yeah, so that works. So what you have to do is you have to make sure that you don't have any extra spaces here. So what is this going to be up here for students? I have no idea. There's not a lot of room, to be honest. We can maybe have some dancing, maybe some dining tables, but like this is technically a walkthrough, which is not very helpful. Maybe that's all it needs to be. Maybe it's just a entrance hall for these guys. Maybe we can expand this out into this room. Maybe that'll work. It has to be wider than, it has to be taller than it is wide. So I don't know. This room's kind of weird. I can try to deconstruct it and see if it can become part of this, but you know, it's just something I'm gonna have to work on. So I'm gonna get back to work at that. That's kind of the long and short of it. Let you guys know what's been going on, what kind of my future plans are. Right now, we are in pretty good sorts. Really, it's going to be getting more students, getting everything expanded out, getting better rooms. I would like to get this library filled out. As you can see, I did the trick again with the bridge. So it's technically an entire schoolroom there. And then hopefully we can get this built out, get some more floors built out, and work on getting our specialized classrooms. So I think we are going to make a ground classroom base here, maybe. Once again, this kind of common room for the students takes up a lot of room. So I may move this in the end, and maybe we'll have something here, have a large hall common room, and then go to school. Actually, that may be better. We have a lot, like this is pretty wide, and we can make it pretty tall for multiple floors. We just have to make sure that it is interior. So, you know, we would have to have a tall tower here, maybe have some rooms go next to it and have like an L shape. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, we got plenty of stone and wood to work on. Maybe that'll be something we can work on. And then I can convert this monstrosity into some other rooms. The other thing is that the reason why I did this right here, just so you guys have an FYI, is that this has to be silent. It can't be next to anything, and it has to be towered, so it can't be next to anything. So that's why we have this here, and we have this gap here. So we would have to leave this room as is and go up, but we have to leave this towered. So that's why it's kind of funky around here. But once again, I'll probably play with it. And then, you know, the way I've been doing these videos, at least when I tried to do them or record them, I've kind of skipped around and, you know, kind of went back and forth and showed you guys, hey, look, we completed this. Hey, look, we completed this. Oh, hey, look, this achievement has been done. Or, you know, this milestone has been done. So kind of going to do the same thing here. But okay, now I promise that is a short of it. I'm going to get back to work and I'll bring you guys back when we have some new things completed. All right, so we've had a spectral rift appear and there are, you know, greater torch snuffers. They're going to try to make our torches go out. Simple battle. We have earth, water, grass. You know, I mean, really, really easy. We have our entire team ready to go. So gonna get them to do that and we'll have that fighting. Yeah, I'm trying to, there was something I wanted to bring up to you guys and I was trying to, yeah, we have to, I want to convert Meatbag here into an air apprentice, but we need to have more Gnosis shards and we're going to need to either pulverize relics and then we need a Gnosis vein. So, you know, out of exploring down here, we do have Gnosis vein, so maybe we'll be able to get enough to get Meatbag leveled up into an apprentice and start getting some more basic students. Because really, this is a mage school simulator. We haven't been doing a lot of the mage school part. We need to do that. So I want to get more students in here. We have a new ability for Danzy Quake. It is a extremely strong area effect in the front row. Honestly, this is probably going to kill at least the chest smasher. I'm going to do this just to get some damage off. But yeah, that guy's gone. This one I think has very little, 40, yeah. And we have 2 waters in the back that are weak. I'm just going to use a flow to... Ooh, actually, no. We could use Torrent, get some damage, mitigation on Kevin, which was rightly so. Man, that was a lot of damage. Dang. They hit hard. Wow. Okay, those torch snuffers hit. They got hands. All right, so surging strength. Nope, we don't want that. Swift shifting vines. We'll just go ahead and do that. Swift, get that one in from the back and the front. Easy enough. And then we want to use, I guess, inspiration on hostile. That way we get a bunch of damage off and maybe even one-shot one of these. Ooh, mana burst. Perfect. That's good. Flow 2. I don't know if that's going to kill, but it could very well. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Really close, but that's still enough damage. So we got the crit and the double damage. All right. Really, we could just throw some damage on this guy. We don't have a fire mage, so it'll be fine. Probably use inspiration on hostile again just to get that damage off, unless, you know, we could just use rolling vines and do enough. And I think hostile could actually... You also kill that? Maybe. I'm gonna use inspiration just in case. It's a little overkill, but, you know, this is the last enemy. We don't have to worry about recharging our mana or anything. And I will say, the oh my goodness. Anyway, the burrower larva, I can't say it. You guys know what I'm saying. So anyway, moving on. That was actually quite a difficult fight. We beat it. No one died. And thanks to Hostile's upgrade to the flow too. But mana regeneration, if I can give you any feedback, is make sure that you have good mana regeneration or mana pots going into that. Make sure you have plenty. Whoever's your massive damage dealer, or even have 2 water mages going into that fight. It would be very handy. Also, I love how crowded it is in here. Oh boy. But yeah, so just make sure that you're properly set up for that kind of stuff. We can actually see here when water didn't upgrade. Ooh, that's how we can have our students learn. We can give them upgrades to their wands. I see. Can anyone get wands upgrades? Because we gave water a better wand. We don't have a dark 2 wand. Do we have an air wand? We do have an air wand. No, we don't. Okay, what do we need to make those wands? Because we actually would like to get them upgraded so they can not just waste our time. So air wand. We just don't have anyone coming to make them yet. So we do want to get those. We do have the requirements for them. And honestly, we might just, let's go and get some new students. Can we get any, no, okay, we know your shards. Yeah, we'll just summon some regular ones. Let's go for, oh, can we use, no, we can't use 2. Let's go for a nature wand. Oh, we don't have a nature wand. Oof. Okay, why do we have a nature wand? We need nature. Nature, because we didn't make the command for it. Well, look at me go. All right, so let's go ahead and get a nature wand 1. There we go. And we want to make sure that we do at least until X, so we just want 1. And then we'll wait for that to complete. We can get some other students, in all honesty, just to go ahead and teach. We might as well. It wouldn't hurt. That's not what I'm looking for. We're looking for the... I can actually dismiss people. Looking for the summon initiate. And let's see here. We'll just have Kingsley do it. And we could get a water and earth. Let's do an earth. We haven't an earth initiate. Okay, never mind. We don't have a wand for it. There we go. The red is actually what I need. We'll do a lightning. We haven't done a lightning in a while, so let's go and get that done. Kingsley can handle that, so our other teachers can do what they need to do. Recreation is in bad sorts. We need to make sure that we get like a conservatory, or just other rec rooms. I was thinking about turning some of these other rooms into rec rooms. So, you know, we can, once we get the students moved into their temporary burrow here, move them up here, we can then move all that up here and then make a nice little, because like this will be just like a giant student room. And then on this side, I'm thinking about making like a tower where our professors live. And then maybe we'll have like, I think there's like a broom mechanic, and maybe we can have like a central broom area for people to use in this tower, which I think would be kind of cool. And that way the students and the teachers have a nice way to get there, because the teachers, they need almost separate rooms to an extent. So we'll probably have like an expansion where I might have like a nice, because I think you actually get a large arc support, and we'll have it go off here and we'll kind of build up in that way. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I kind of want to move this eventually to the hospital, the infirmary, and honestly, that needs to be closer to the bottom. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, just kind of future plans talking about. I'm going to try to work on this. TU is doing some really good research for us right now with this new upgrade. So we're working on getting these new apprentice slots so we can start making those. We have domesticated magic, so we get some better what type of luxury? Yeah, types of luxury. So I'm going to add these rugs. We're not looking for the so fancy yet. Lightning apprentice. Yeah, lightning apprentice would be pretty decent. We have pillars of strength. I want to get the atelier down so we can actually have some good automation going. So I might start working on those as well. So I might look into that. You know, if we go into the rooms here, we can go to book of rooms, go to workshops, and we can say the atelier. It needs to be towered. Oh man, these towered ones are killing me, man. Okay, so towered, spindle, and then 25 or greater creeper luxury, and then just need some roof decoration. So we can just say, hey, like, make it an offshoot of one of these buildings, or even make it an offshoot of like up here. Like we can have an atelier up here next to the students thing, and then, you know, we have like the spiral staircase going up, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I'll figure it out. But we need to make a tower thing. So maybe we have like a small tower above this one. And, you know, just go straight up. Because like I said, if I put the students here, and then we can eventually have some more staircases here. This is not always going to be students, so we can have the atelier above this and have it towered. I think that might be good. Maybe. Because we got to consider towered can't touch anything. Yeah, I got to think about that one. Okay, so by some miracle, this thing actually worked. I was really afraid this whole deal right here would not make it work, but yeah, we somehow have an austere bedroom, and we're going to turn it into a house commons. So let's go ahead and do our lovely little feature here where we want to click on select goal, and we want to go to rec rooms, and we want house commons. So house commons, what do we need? Well, it needs to be interior, and it is not interior because it is adjacent to something outside. I should have noticed that. So this just doesn't work. It doesn't work because this is interior. Or this isn't interior, man. So what we could at least do for right now, what we could do is we could do a common, no, but it still has to be interior. Okay, the interior. All right. The interior is a little tricky to work with. So how are we going to do that? This has kind of thrown me off a little bit because of the towered, and yeah. I was going to say towered here, but no, we can't have that either. So we would need to make like an L shape, have some rooms on top. Oh boy, man, that's throwing me off quite a bit. I mean, we could technically convert a lot of this stuff in here, but then we'd be getting rid of this. And the problem about these rooms is if we take a look at it again, we select a goal and we want house commons. It has to be skewed. So the outer wall, at least 3 blocks taller, but it doesn't have to be towered. No, it has to be lofted, taller and wide. Okay. How in the world am I going to fix this? I could technically just nope, can't do that either because it can't be next. It has to be next to an outdoor thing. Wow. I mean, we could technically disconnect this room and just have this as a house commons. We could. It's going to be very small. And I mean, it's going to be really small. Like, we have to have 2 tables and 2 2 recreation things. I think gramophones. So, if we take a look at the room requirement. Yeah, so I said 2 recreation furnishings. So it doesn't have to be a gramophone. It just has to be recreation furnishing. So if we look at here and we go to recreation, we don't have to have the enchanted phone. It just has to have some kind of recreation furnishing. Okay, that changes things. So we just need 2 more dining tables. So up here, we can technically, up here, we can technically say, hey, we can have an impressive chair. Just chilling right there. Why not? And then we can have our beds, of course. So we want to move the students' beds. No, we can make this work. We can make this work. Oh, never mind. I lied. Hang on. Whoa, cancel assembly. We still want an impressive chair. And we want that to go, in this corner. Why not? Hang on, wait. Can I get it there? Is that gonna work? You kind of look down below. I mean, that's kind of a death trap, isn't it? Yeah, kind of a little bit. We have this chair in a place that is not gonna hurt a student. Is that a thing we can do? Man, this is, I don't like this room. We'll eventually change it over when I have the time, but right now we can make it work. We can have a chair there. I think that'll be fine. You walk up the stairs. We have all of our beds down here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to deconstruct this. Oh, nope, don't paste settings. What did I just do? I don't know what it is. Fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to build, and we're going to replace this with a floor. Just kidding. It does not let me do that. So we're going to demolish this, and then replace it with the floor once it gets demolished. And then we just need 2 dining tables, which we can fit 2 dining tables in here. I think that's feasible. Man, I wish there was a better way of doing this other than a bridge. I'll be honest. I wish we didn't have to rely on a bridge. Yeah. I wish you could designate, like, hey, if it has a staircase going in there, it's still the same room. I don't know if there's a better way to do that, and maybe you guys know in the comments. But yeah, I wish there was just a little bit. We can technically put a support there and get rid of this support, I think. Because I think that support's going to be a little bit of an issue. And I kind of want to get rid of it. To be honest. Yeah, so we'll get rid of that bridge. We'll place a floor there. And I think I'm going to put that there. And then I'm going to get rid of that once we have that there. And then we start moving our beds in here. It's still an austere bedroom. It should be fine. So we just want to move these. And we want... Okay, we're going to want that there. And then I'm going to want to move this. Are you going to be living under the stairs? You know, it's fine. You can sleep under the stairs. That'll work. And then we want to move this other bed in here. You know, we could technically have them... I mean, on the first floor like that, though, that's kind of strange. I wish I could have more room there. It's fine. We'll make it work. You can have one like that. That's so weird. You wake up, everyone's just walking through here as you're sleeping. Oh, that's so strange. That is so strange, man. We technically have a... Nope. We're not using that space. We're not using that space. Could technically do that and they could walk through. Technically? Yeah. I wish I can get... Can I get rid of that? Is that a thing? No, I can't get rid of that because that's actually supporting this wall. But if we have that floor there, that should work, right? If that floor is there, that should work. Then we can remove this? Maybe. I think that should work. Surely. Because the reason why this wasn't working is because we hadn't built the floor yet. And I think that's what that was. We could also put another support here. We really need to. Like, we can delete all this stuff later. Like, that's fine. And then we can have like some more room up here for beds. And then we want the dining tables, of course. So we're going to want to move dining tables around. Only students can eat these dining tables. And then we actually have an issue with Danzy, where Danzy wants to eat in a 50 or higher luxury dining room. So, yeah, that's something we're going to have to deal with. And I want the dining tables. I don't know where they're at. I'm going to find them real quick. Who would have thought you find dining tables under furniture? So let's go ahead and grab a dining table. And once again, I'm not a fan of this room. And I'll be honest with you. I'm hoping we can get this removed, and then I can put the dining tables here. That way they can still walk in between. Can they walk between? No, they can't. Grr, I say grr. All right. Anyway, we can just have a dining table like that. It's a little awkward. It is. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little strange. but we still need the recreation too. I mean, technically we could have a table. We can have tables going across like that. They can technically walk around. Ugh, the spiral staircase is kind of iffy, isn't it? We can get rid of this. Actually, you know, we can get rid of the spiral staircase. We don't need this here. Yeah, we don't need the spiral staircase there if we're getting rid of this room. Yeah, we don't need that. Yeah, we don't need that. So we'll have more room up here, which is good. We're gonna make this work. I'm gonna make it happen. We do want the floor here. So let's put a floor back. So that is kind of where we're at on this. Now we can try to get rid of the support. I'm hoping it works. If it doesn't, you know, we'll have that there at least. And I'm thinking that should support that wall. If it all comes crumbling down, well, that's a whole separate issue. And then I added like a little skylight here, and they're building these windows here. I'm hoping we actually get a third window because that is what we need. Nope, we're missing spore caps and ice petals. I did make some more spore cap harvesting, so we do have them going on. Also made it to where we have 3 helper carriers, kind of getting some stuff moved around, so that'll help as well. Daisy's building the chair, nice. We want to move those beds as soon as possible, so our students have a place to sleep. That would be great. I'm going to say, hey, can we enlarge this, please, as soon as possible? Because we eventually want to get all these beds moved in here. It's going to be quite tough getting them moved in here. Oh, they can access that. I'm to reach plain bed, all students. Well, would you look at that? Okay, so that bed can't go there. Interesting. Huh. Alrighty then. So we have 2 down here. We technically could have this. And I'm okay with that. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. So we'll have a bed there, and we'll move this candelabra. We'll say the candelabra will go at the stair foot. And then once we get these built out, we can take down the supports. I'm hoping we can take down the supports. That'd be kind of handy. So yeah, I'm going to get work on this. I'm going to show you end result of what comes of my monstrosity here. Okay, and a very bad thing that I just noticed was a immediate concern that I need to take care of. In fact, the fog wall is right on our doorstep, and I did not realize that. And we're actually out of wood. Because wood is used to make our stone from the old loveliness dyes here. So we do need to make sure that that is taken care of and done. And Incogcio is already level 3. That was quite quick. So yeah, let's go ahead and do Superior Repel Fog, and let's get this done, because, well, we don't want the school to get consumed now, do we? Yeah, so this is not working still because, well, this is technically outside, and this has to be interior. So what I'm doing is I'm going to move all of this stuff, and then I'm going to make this just a basic common room right here. I think I can get like a staircase right here, and then have like, we can have like a bridge maybe right there. And then we can have plenty of room back and forth. I think that's going to be pretty decent. And then we know, you know, have a hallway runner. And I can figure out what to do with this whole thing. Yeah, it's bad, man. I don't know why I did it the way I did it, but I need to figure out how to fix it. But hey, we at least now know we can just go ahead and get rid of this and make this separate rooms. So I'm going to do that until I can figure out what I actually want to put there. Because this is technically interior down here, so we can do something with it. And then this is technically skewed, I believe, and I could maybe be able to put a hydro laboratory here. And then we could have like a alchemy lab and a hydro laboratory. It's going to be quite small, but maybe we can get it to work. Because we can take this, make it... Okay, we pushed it back. I thought that was it encroaching on us. Maybe we can make that work? I'd have to see. Because the hydro laboratory has to be skewed. And the chemical lab, the alchemist lab has to be interior. So those are the only things that we have to really worry about. We have tons of rats, just absolutely massive amount of rats. So that's one thing we need to consider when doing this. All right, so we still don't have our woodcutter yet, so I'm going to focus on that. We need to make sure we have some lighting and make sure we have a large window. Ooh, we have a large odd window though, which gives us just a lot of light. Lots and lots of light. I kind of like that. We need runewood though, and we need spore cap and frost glass. Okay, so yeah, so we're gonna have to start worrying about crafting. And I really want to have a place for our beasts to go. We need runewood, which we haven't seen any runewood trees, I don't think. I mean, we may have to push the fog back even further into the next area to get runewood, which we can't do because we need spore cap and honey drops. So we are farming those. We may want to farm even more of them. We see we have a little bit here. Not a ton. I do have some spore caps there, so, you know, they'll eventually be made. But yeah, I do want to at least get another odd window in here. We just need some spore caps and wood. So, yeah, I really need to start filling this area out with trees. And once again, I need the window. So I'm going to go ahead and like say, hey, chop down these. We really, really need wood. I took away our source of wood, so hopefully we get that done. Can we Please get a wooden, yes, summon initiate. Can we get a, no, we can't. We haven't made the wands yet. Yeah, I need a nature student. We really need a nature student. Oh, yeah, we have the pathstone here. Very nice. Let's go ahead and put some more down. Exterior. Nope. Luxury. Nope. Where was it at? Was it outdoor? Nope, that wasn't outdoor either. Construction. No. Okay, well, I'll know there's furniture. That's kind of interesting. So we have the furniture. We can have, say, pathstone out to there. Yeah, we'll just fill that out. Just kind of like a little nice little courtyard right here. There is a rat that is kind of in there, and we want to get him out. We have some gut berries as well that we'll cut down. But yeah, that's kind of the status of the school at the moment. Nothing too crazy at the moment. Kind of, we have a battle of little weights, but we're not really focusing on that. Got to figure out what to do with the space. Gonna move all this stuff around. But yeah, probably have like a, because it has to be skewed. So if we look at our rooms here, and we look at room, not what I'm looking for, book of rooms, and we go to rec rooms, and we have house commons, it has to be skewed, and it has to be lofted. So part of it has to be a shorter wall. So it has to be kind of this L, I mean, so we have to have like this weird, awkward wall. That's what we have to do. So could probably have like a weird, awkward wall here, or even like right here. Move this wall over one, and then we can maybe have, because this is pristine, open back, and silent. It's not skewed. We have to lower this wall somehow. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how we're gonna get this stuff to work out, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But yeah, what I'll probably do is I'll move this wall over. This room will have some extra space in it, and then we can make this part of our kind of first common room. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna get this worked out. I'm gonna try to move everything around, and then I'll bring you guys back when I'm done. All right, so we got another spectral rift. We have this green one here, had messy metaler come through. I'm just gonna take care of it real quick. I mean, it's just some chest smashers and torch stuffers, kind of like that we had at the beginning of the episode. So some nature, some earth, some water, just our standard. Oh, no path. Okay. Oh right, I took out the staircase. Yeah, that's kind of important, isn't it? Oh, I never made a way to get up there. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm going to handle that issue. And then, yeah, like I said, not too much. I'm just going to try to get this room down here built out, and then hopefully we'll get our library done as well. So back to work I go. Okay, so a little progress has been made. We have finally got our woodcuttery, so we can finally start putting trees in here and start growing a little bit more. Our trees are actually kind of like one of our more weaker points now. We desperately need to grow some more trees. So we have these here. We have the woodcutter. We're going to put some more in here so we can start harvesting them. Just have enough to go ahead and deal with it. For some reason, Hostle's harvesting. Appreciate your help, Hostle. But we can probably, I hope, now... Oh, we can summon a gifted initiate as well. But we're not going to do that because we're going to save our Gnosis shards for a promotion. So we want to summon a new nature student, so we're going to begin the ritual on that. We have one more bed for our dormitory here. We also have a spectral rift. I'm just going to let that go, I think, for a while. Chest smasher. Ooh, never mind. We probably don't want to deal with that. So, yeah, I'm going to handle that real quick. But, yeah, we can't make this yet because we need another... So apparently these don't count as recreation furnishings because you're looking for like enchantophone or maybe an art easel. Unless we need to have 2 enchantophones, then I mean, I guess I can make that work for right now. So yeah, you know, technically we can have one there. Move this one and then, you know, copy, put another one down. So I'll let that happen. And then maybe we'll get our house commons. So we'll get that done. But yeah, we're going to summon a new initiate. That's going to be done here. Have you, like I said, we're focusing on students at the moment and getting those new buildings in. So we're finally making some progress, but I'm gonna get the student in here. New nature students should take, you know, how long is this taking? A couple minutes here. So it's gonna almost be done. And we have our new initiate. There we go. Welcome to the school. Hope you enjoyed here. So Kingsley helped us with that. And then, like I said, we're gonna move that enchanted phone and we're just gonna make a copy of it real quick. So let's just say build a copy and then for now, this is what we'll do. It's not what exactly I wanted, but I think it should. And I want to see if this is actually what's going to happen. We're going to put that as a priority 5 so I can just get that done. But it should make this into a house commons. I did move our Lavalina size up here. I think I may have mentioned that. But yeah, we're just kind of moving things all around. I'm trying to figure out what to do with this space here. But come on, house commons. We've been working towards this. Oh, wait, no, I need large windows. So no, it's still not going to happen. Oh, wait. Oh, we got a common room. Okay, well, that's still better than, you know, what we had. So we now have a common room. Now, if we look at our goal here, we just need 3 large windows, which we can definitely, I think, work towards, or one huge window. We can definitely put a huge window up here. At least I think we can. But yeah, we'll work towards that. At least we got a house commons now, looking really, really fancy. Nice new digs. Loving it. So why do we not have a runner right there? That needs to go there. We need to make sure our students go fast. It gets under furniture. There we go. Perfect. All right. So yeah, I'm going to take care of this roof real quick, and then I'm going to work on a couple other things. I'm trying to figure out what to do with this room. It's really small. Don't know what to do with it, but I'm sure we'll get there. But yeah, for right now, I'm going to get back to work, take care of this, and then start moving some more things around. All right, to bring you guys back, we are making a lot of progress. As you can see, I've kind of updated the couple floors here. And the reason why is because we're going to work on our specialty classrooms. You can see that we have a Dark Apprentice portal, and we're going to start working on getting these. We have the Hydro... what was it called? The Hydro... It's not the Hydro Laboratory. But yeah, we're going to have to select a goal for it. I'm going to say, hey, like, yeah, this is going to be our Hydro Laboratory. Yep, that was it. So we're going to have that there. It's skewed. It just needs one chalkboard, and it needs 2 or more aquariums. We can see aquariums are 2x2s, and we can easily fit those in, I believe. So we're eventually going to be able to get these classrooms upgraded. We're going to make them an advanced classroom at first, I guess. But otherwise, yeah, we're going to start making our specialty classrooms. We got students up here. We need to go ahead and get them to apprenticeship. So water, we'll be able to get water there. We'll be able to get Pixel Gamer there. And I want a lot more students. We'll have our specialty. Once we get Meatbag, Pixel Gamer, and Water as professors, we'll be able to have a lot more teachers and get students in and just kind of buff up everyone that we can. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about where we're going. We've made a lot of progress. I know that technically this is 3 episodes worth of progress that you guys have seen. But yeah, we got our greenhouse done. We got our woodcutter redone. We're going to be able to get different trees in here, get more wood yield, because the better tree you get, the more wood yield to get. And then, yeah, so that's kind of the update and the progress that we've made. So once we get those, we're going to have an atelier up here. Because what we need is a towered... Oh, it has to be towered, so I've got to have to actually change this a little bit. So I'll adjust it as needed. But yeah, I'm planning on having an atelier here that has to be towered. So while I can still have this ladder, we just need to make sure that we kind of separate this and have it as a bridge, which is gonna be a little more difficult than I thought. So I'm gonna have to maybe rethink this up here. The towered part always kind of gets me confused. We can always just kind of make it just have a broom thing. And next time we finished a research that I'm really excited about, riding the breeze. Broom racks will be able to finally get brooms and let our students and teachers travel across the school more effectively. So that is going to be something for next time. But guys, hope you enjoyed this episode. I appreciate it, as always, for you watching. If you have any feedback, I would greatly appreciate it. Anything that I could do differently, or if I could edit differently, whichever you prefer. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you as always for spending some of your time here, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.